the week of September 20th, 2022. My name is Jacob.
And I am Outgo. Welcome to your very first episode of DSN News.
The world is mourning the loss of Queen Elizabeth II, who has died at the age of 96. She ruled for 70 years as the Great Queen of Great Britain. She was the longest-serving monarch in history.
Queen Elizabeth II will always be remembered as a historic reign devoted to duty, family, faith, and service.
Now let's go over to Mila and Emma with This Week in History.
Welcome to This Week in History. My name is Mila.
And I am Emma.
On September 11th, 2001, people in New York City woke up to a beautiful summer day. It was a Tuesday, and people were preparing for another day at work and school. Thousands of people headed for the World Trade Center to go to work that day. An unfortunate turn of events happened as the American Airlines Flight 11 hit the northern tower, and about 17 minutes later, a second plane hit the south tower. Later on, 2 planes hit the Pentagon. The United States was under a terrorist attack.
First responders helped many people before the Twin Towers collapsed. More than 25,000 people made it out of the buildings before they fell, but nearly 3,000 people from the Twin Towers. The Pentagon and the 4 airplanes died in the attacks that day. Memorials now stand to pay tribute to those who lost their lives on September 11th, 2001.
See you next week on This Week in History.
Now let's go over to Rudy and Malachi with sports.
Welcome to Sports News. My name is Rudy.
And I am Malachi.
The Arizona Cardinals took a hard loss in their season opening game on September 11th against the Kansas City Chiefs with the score of 44-21. The team was playing the short-handed with missed few key players due to injuries.
The Arizona Diamondbacks won their game against the Colorado Rockies on September 11th. During that game, Zach Gallen started the Diamondbacks' 12-6 win over the Colorado Rockies with a scoreless first inning to move past Brandon Webb for the longest streak in club history.
That's all for today. See you next time on Sport News.
Now let's go over to Mrs. Dirksen with a weekly update.
Well, hello, Desert Sunset. I am very excited that we have our first episode of DSN, Desert Sunset News. And I'm excited to be able to share with you some things that are coming up this week at our school. The first and probably the most exciting is our grand opening that will be taking place on Friday. Your teachers are going to have your classrooms all set for you to bring your parents and give them a tour of all the amazing things you've been doing. We will have food trucks here, a bounce house will be here, inflatable slides, we'll have a photo booth, face painting, lots of fun activities for you to bring your families to. The other thing that's starting next week is our Watchdog program. I know many of you brought your dads, your grandpas, your uncles to our Watchdog Pizza Night, and we are excited to have them start helping out on our campus this next week. The other exciting thing is I'm hoping our playgrounds are going to be ready for us to use next week as well. You can see they've been working on them quite a bit, and we are excited to be able to use those. Have a great week. Make sure you're making good choices.
Now let's go over to Ellen Brielle with Fun Fact Trivia.
Welcome to Fun Fact Trivia. My name is Ella.
And I am Brielle. Did you know that today, September 20th, is National String Cheese Day?
You've got to hand it to string cheese. It's the fun, easy, and protein-packed food that goes wherever you do. Perhaps the most enjoyable part of string cheese is deciding how to eat it. Most people go for the classic peel down and chow down method, separating each stick into thin strands. Others prefer the get down to business approach of moving the wrapper and biting into the stick. Your question today is, what year was string cheese invented? A, 1917,
B, 1976.
or C, 2007?
You have 10 seconds to make your decision. If you said B, 1976, you're correct.
The string cheese was invented in 1976 by Frank Baker.
Fun fact, Americans increased the amount of cheese every person ate each year from 16 pounds to 37 pounds. That's a lot of cheese.
Now let's go over to Marley with Science Time.
Welcome to Science Time. My name is Marley. The James Webb Space Telescope is the most powerful telescope ever launched. It was sent into space in 2021. The first images captured by Webb were revealed in the summer on a mission to study the earliest stars. Stephan's Quintet is a group of 5 galaxies. Can you spot them in this image from the James Webb Telescope? See you next week with more Science Time.
Now let's go back to Mila and Emma with the word of the week.
Welcome to Word of the Week. My name is Mila.
And I'm Emma.
This word of the week is substantive. Substantive is an adjective and it means important, real, or meaningful. It can also be used to describe something. Here is how it can be used in a sentence.
My friendship with my pen pal was one of the most substantive of my childhood, despite the thousands of miles between us.
See you next time on Word of the Week.
Now over to Layla and Miranda with Joke of the Week.
Hello and welcome to Joke of the Week. My name is Layla.
And I am Miranda.
So, what's your joke?
What kind of math do birds love?
I don't know. What is it?
Algebra.
Great joke, Miranda. If you have a joke and would like to tell on the news, please have your teacher email it to Miss Webb. See you on the next time of Joke of the Week.
Thank you, Layla and Miranda. That is all for this week's episode of DSN News.
See you next week.